Greetings to everyone out there in the NoDQ galaxy. Welcome to NoDQ Live here on NoDQ.com and the YouTube channel, youtube.com/AaronRiftNoDQ. I am here to talk about the first Smackdown Live of the new era of WWE. How was the show tonight? Was it any better than usual? Was it better than Raw? Was it better than last week's Smackdown? Let's find out. So I would like to say thank you to everyone watching live. I do appreciate it as always. If you're watching for the first time, I hope you enjoy the video. Let's go ahead and get started with the review. Cat is in the background, so hopefully that leads to more thumbs up. That would be awesome. All right, so the show opened with a Shane McMahon pep talk with the entire SmackDown locker room, including Paige. And the most interesting thing out of this segment was that apparently Paige is no longer the general manager. Caleb Jacobs with a $3 super chat donation. Moving off topic because Caleb loves to do it. Asuka looks better with the title. Yes, she does, Caleb. I agree. Chris Ramirez with the $2 super chat donation. Also off topic. Again, guys, please, if you're going to super chat, stick to whatever the current topic is. He says, does Aaron care? Right now, we're talking about Shane McMahon giving a pep talk, and I want to know what you guys think in the chat room about Shane McMahon giving a pep talk to the SmackDown locker room. Shane said that this is a new era. They are being progressive. They're listening to the fans, yada, yada, yada. He then called in the formal general manager Paige. I thought he said formal, but he might have said former. He said he thanks her for everything that she did and that she's not actually going away, but her role is changing. So what does that mean? Will Paige become a manager? Will she just do backstage interviews? What's she going to do now? Looks like the end of Paige's run as the general manager. For now, you never know if things will change, but it appears like she's not going to be doing the GM role anymore. Who knows? What did you guys think about this segment? Cindy with a $2 super chat says, either women's division supervisor or commentator. Commentator could be interesting, although, again, I'm not a fan of the three-person commentary teams, but that's just me personally. Maybe she will be the head of the women's division. That is certainly a possibility. Cindy says replace Corey Graves. Well, there you go. I would be fine with that. Corey Graves, I mean, I like the guy, but I don't think he's quite as great as people make him out to be. I tend to agree with Becky Lynch that he's a poor man's Bobby Heenan, quite frankly. So anyways, we had Becky Lynch come out. She says she doesn't care who's in charge. She wants the McMahons to bring Ronda Rousey out to her on a silver platter. She wanted revenge. She wanted payback. She said she worked too hard for too long to be screwed over by a Roddy Piper cosplayer. That was funny. That was a great line by Becky Lynch. I did like that. Charlotte came out and told Becky to take a number because Charlotte wants a piece of Ronda Rousey, and quite frankly, as far as Charlotte is concerned, Becky is number 2. Cindy with a $2 super chat donation says, by the way, I survived 6 hours of Raw. Yep, a trooper. Congratulations, Cindy, for sitting through 6 hours of Monday Night Raw. I don't know if I could do that, so hats off to you, Cindy. You are a true WWE fan for life. WWE should be paying you to sit there and put up with 6 hours of their subpar television as far as I'm concerned. So anyways, Asuka came out during this opening promo segment and bragged about being the champion and said that she was the best. Charlotte and Becky were both like, well, prove it. Prove that you're the best. This led to Vince McMahon coming out. That's right. The boss, Vinnie Mac, coming out on SmackDown, looking like he's 80 years old. Vince, well, before I get to Vince's comments, Tony H with a $2 super chat donation says, am I the only one sad that Charlotte is a 7-time champion? Are you sad because you want to see her as an 8-time champion, or just sad that there's so many title changes? Thank you for the super chat, Tony H. I would assume you're just saying that she's been champion too many times in a short period of time. And that's what he says. He says, no, too much. I would tend to agree with that. I feel like WWE is hot potatoing the title. They really did that with Sasha earlier. Was it this year or was it last year? I'm just forgetting now. I mean, that's how irrelevant Sasha has become at this point. But yeah, they've been doing a lot of title changes. Maybe the idea is that Charlotte is going to eventually be a 17-time women's champion and break her father's record. Whatever. Caitlyn says it was last year, so there you go. Anyways, Vince said that he wanted to wish everybody a happy holidays, and regarding Becky and Charlotte, they would have to take it up with Ronda. So I guess the McMahons are not going to give Becky Ronda on a silver platter. Becky, who's on a different show than Ronda, has to go take it up with Ronda. Okay, whatever. Thank you, Roman Reigns, with the $2 super chat. Says 3 hours of Becky Lynch would be better than Raw. Ouch. Savage comment of the night so far from thank you, Roman Reigns. So Vince said tough shit about Becky and Charlotte getting their hands on Ronda. And as far as getting a rematch against Asuka, Vince was also basically tough shit. This led to Naomi coming out, and Naomi wanted a title match, and Vince is like, this is the new era, damn it, so we're going to do a title match right here, right now. Sounds to me like the old Smackdown when they have the promo segment followed by making a match that's going to take place right now. So whatever, new Smackdown. I'll take Vince's word for it. It's a new era, new Smackdown, whatever. So it was a different match, though, so okay, I'll give them that. It was Asuka defending the SmackDown Women's title against Naomi, which was a fine match, although I will say the crowd was really not into this all that much, and if anything, this crowd really was not that good at all. They were pretty quiet for the entire thing. The attendance looked really weak from what I saw. Looked to me like a half house at best, maybe even less than a half house, and the arena in Fresno was relatively small to begin with, so I'm thinking they maybe had like 4,000 or 5,000 people tops there. Small crowd, not much heat for most of the show. And guess what? WWE, as I'm speaking here and you guys are listening, WWE is taping another SmackDown for next week in the same building. So they're going to most likely need the crowd sweetener for both Raw and SmackDown next week, based on what I've heard. But anyways, back to the match. Naomi, she put up the good college try. She was a very game Naomi against Asuka. She broke out of the Asuka lock a few times. She did pick up a near fall with the rear view. But in the end, Asuka defeated the very game Naomi with the Asuka lock, and she's still the champ. What happens next with Becky and Charlotte? You have to tune in to find out. Backstage, we had The Miz asking Vince if Shane was around, and Vince said Shane is not able to play right now because, after all, Shane's doing what he's been doing, the last 8 months running SmackDown. But apparently now he's more serious about running SmackDown. Okay. Miz talked about how he's reliable. Miz said that he's a worthy partner and asked Vince for his blessing to have Shane and him be tag team partners. So we had the comedy here. Vince is like, I don't do blessings, but Vince did add that he'll give Miz an opportunity and pick a partner for Miz. Miz was basically thanking him for that, and then Vince slammed the door on his face. So there you go. We had a Rusev backstage promo. He praised his body, his biceps, said he has a handsome beard. He revealed a picture of Shinsuke Nakamura and said Nakamura looks like Sonic the Hedgehog. Hardy har har, very funny. Not really, but whatever. Jeff Hardy came out because Samoa Joe was apparently going to give him an apology. Samoa Joe came out and proceeded to apologize, but then added that he was actually there for an intervention, talking about how the demons are going to get control of Jeff again. Jeff said he's never going back there. And then Jeff had a little bit of ownage on Samoa Joe, bringing up how in 3 years since joining WWE, Joe has only captured one championship, the NXT World Championship, and he hasn't won anything else. Joe was triggered by this, went to attack Jeff Hardy, but Jeff Hardy fought him off, hit the twist of fate, and that was the segment. So this week, Jeff Hardy gets the best of Samoa Joe. Will Joe eventually get a championship in 2019? That, my friends, remains to be seen. Next up, we had The Miz come out for his tag team match. For a few seconds there before the partner came out, the fans were chanting CM Punk. But of course, you don't get CM Punk in the new era, unfortunately. Instead, it was Mandy Rose. Mandy came out, and they were up against the Fabulous Truth. R-Truth came out with Carmella. They made a bunch of remarks about the WWE headquarters trip. R-Truth then called Mandy Rose Maurice, which was actually pretty funny because they both obviously have similar looks with the blonde hair, tan skin, all that stuff. So we had the tag team match. They had the dance break as usual. But in the end, it was Miz picking up the victory for his team with the skull-crushing finale. So I guess Miz and Mandy are a cohesive unit for the time being. Now, I wonder if they'll do some kind of storyline here. Like, I know wrestlers in real life don't like doing breakup storylines or love triangle storylines just because life has imitated art in various circumstances. But I wonder if they're going to do a storyline with The Miz and Mandy Rose and Maurice taking exception to them being partners in some kind of love triangle storyline. Could be interesting, but I mean, otherwise I don't understand the point of this at all unless that's the direction it's going in. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. We had the recap of the NXT call-ups. That was, more the same from Raw. We had the Usos come out for a promo. They called out the bar. They wanted another shot at the bar. Not that bar, Sheamus and Cesaro. But instead, they got Anderson and Gallows. Anderson and Gallows, of course, they've been neglected. And it's the new era, so apparently they're going to get another opportunity. They said no more being on the sidelines. They were there to clean house. This led to a tag team match between Anderson and Gallows and the Usos. The bar did come out for the distraction, and the Usos took advantage of the distraction, and they were on the verge of winning the match, but then we had more interference from Sanity. Sanity came out, attacked the Usos, and then the bar picked up, they basically picked the bones of the babyface tag teams after Sanity left. The bar beat down the Usos and Anderson and Gallows. The Relaxing Noob with a $2 super chat donation. Thoughts on starting up a podcast? That is what this is. NoDQ Live is a podcast. It's a video podcast. You can listen to it if you want. You can play it in your car and listen to it. So technically it is a podcast. A podcast can be video or audio. And I just choose YouTube as the site to broadcast my podcast on. So there you go. Thank you, Roman Reigns, with a $10 super chat donation. Thank you for that. With Royal Rumble nearing, what are your thoughts on John Cena's Royal Rumble return from 2008? Here we go off topic. What makes it so special? He wasn't supposed to be there that night. I was shocked when it happened. Hold that thought. I'll talk about that after the Smackdown review. Let me finish the Smackdown review. We're almost done. I know there's more. As soon as I'm done with the live Smackdown, We'll talk about Nakamura in a backstage promo showing footage from Total Divas, which was basically a montage of all the things that Rusev has done on Total Divas, mowing his lawn in his underwear, dressing up as a clown, all these wacky things that Rusev did. And Nakamura's like, should I be scared of this? So that was that. I'm sure Caitlyn was happy because we had a little cameo from Nikki. Nikki got her moment on Smackdown Live. We had New Day plugging WWE Holiday Week. Not much to it. Just standard New Day promotional stuff. And then we had Daniel Bryan. Well, actually, hold that thought. The Relaxing Noob with a New Zealand $10 super chat donation says donation war keen ? I'm not sure what he means by that, but thank you, Relaxing Noob. I do appreciate it. Thank you guys for the super chats tonight. I really do appreciate them. You guys are awesome. Everyone's awesome, though. Everyone watching this, I appreciate your support, your viewership. And you can also support the site if you would like by picking up a NoDQ.com t-shirt. Got to do the cheap plugs again. Got the Fire Virtue shirt, although I am cool with Virtue, even though he was being a brat last night. Virtue is the man, so go over to NoDQ.com/shirts and pick up a Virtue t-shirt. Offman Rules is on the NoDQ Galaxy t-shirt. There's actually two of them. One of them you can see in the background, NoDQ.com/shirts. Tony H with a $2 super chat donation says, New Day split in 2019? One can only hope. I doubt it. I've given up. I have given up on the idea that the New Day are ever going to break up. I think they're going to be a tag team for the rest of their careers until one of them decides to leave WWE, I think. I could see them breaking the record for the most tag team title reigns in WWE history, quite frankly. DVD King with a $5 super chat donation says, what do you think of the NXT call-ups? They F up with the call-ups. Heavy Machinery and Lacey Evans should not get called up. I did touch upon this last night, but I'll mention it again since you left the super chat. This is a little bit off topic, although I did mention it a few minutes ago. I feel like it's silly to announce the call-ups this far in advance, and I also feel like the main roster is already so overcrowded that these guys, for the most part, are going to get lost in the shuffle, and gal. I want to see Candice LeRae called up for the ladies, and Shayna Baszler, I think it's her time also. EC3 I'm looking forward to. War Machine, if those guys are not protected, they're gonna get lost in the shuffle very quickly. Like, I know I was wrong about Enzo and Cass. I said that those guys, I felt like they weren't gonna go very far, and really in hindsight, you know, other than that year where they were pretty hot, they did end up splitting up and everything fell apart for those guys. But Heavy Machinery, like, I feel like those guys, if they're not booked really strong, they're going to get very quickly lost in the shuffle. So that's basically my take on it. I'm skeptical if these guys are going to have any kind of long-term momentum. And it feels like WWE's just trying to hotshot the TV ratings and do something to get people interested. So then we had Daniel Bryan come out for his promo. There was a hilarious fan sign that read, yes, this sign wasted paper. And Daniel Bryan was totally reacting to that. Very cool stuff. Bryan talked about how he destroyed the Yes movement. He tore down the house that AJ Styles built. He's creating a brave new world. He really ripped into Fresno, which is actually hilarious because the Central Valley of California isn't exactly known as paradise. Let's be real here. I have a lot of people I know and love in Fresno, but Fresno, Bakersfield, they're kind of shitholes. Let's be real here. And I've been to both cities. It is very polluted. So Daniel Bryan basically just doing a worked shoot here talking about how Fresno has the most pollution of any city in California. It's either Fresno or Bakersfield, but that whole area it's definitely true about the air pollution. Unboxing Dude 58 with a $5 super chat donation. Thank you for that. The new Daniel Bryan is so good, and I'm glad that they've given him a strong heel gimmick. I agree. Bryan has really taken advantage of the situation and has made a very memorable character out of this Daniel Bryan, saver of planet Earth, rubbing it in everyone's faces that he's a vegan. I love it. So Bryan said that at least the people have him to look up to, and he said, shame, shame, shame. Didn't New Day do that a few months ago? I could have sworn they did. But, Bryan talked about how they have somebody that can teach them the right way to live. So, again, Bryan doing, basically a rehash of CM Punk's gimmick with the whole, I'm telling you all how to live my way is the only way. If you don't live my way, you're wrong. Excuse me. So yeah, Bryan is doing fantastic work here. This led to a tag team match main event. AJ Styles and Mustafa Ali against Daniel Bryan and Andrade Cien Almas. So apparently Ali is now permanently part of Smackdown Live. He has upgraded from 205 Live. Good for him. I know a lot of people are high on the guy. And he did have a few rough moments in this match, as Sonic Jackson pointed out. But it was his time to shine. The Relaxing Noob with a $5 super chat donation. Thank you for that. He says, he's going off topic again. Should Vince and Kevin Nash team up and call themselves the Quad Busters? How cool would that be? That would be quite hilarious, but I don't think we're going to be seeing Kevin Nash around anytime soon. And as much as Vince likes to poke fun of himself, I don't sense Vince doing something like that. So it does sound funny, but highly unlikely in all likelihood. Quad Busters. So anyways, back to the match. We had the surprise finish of Mustafa Ali pinning Daniel Bryan. That's right. Mustafa Ali defeated Daniel Bryan, the WWE Champion, on SmackDown Live with the 0-5-4 finishing move. What do you guys think about this? Are you a fan of it? Do you think it will matter in 2 weeks, or do you think Bryan will face Ali next week or in 2 weeks, beat him, and then that's the end of Ali's push and the last time we ever see him on television? So what do you guys think about it? Are you convinced that it is a new era and Ali's going to get this big push and he's going to be a big star now? I'm not exactly buying it. I feel like Bryan will get his win back and Ali will disappear, and then, people will just forget about it. Sonic Jackson says it was cool, but probably will not matter in 2 weeks. I mean, essentially, that's how I'm feeling about it. I feel like they're trying. It's kind of like when Rey Mysterio, speaking of Kevin Nash, here's a little tie-in. When Kevin Nash jobbed out to Rey Mysterio on Nitro back in 1999, it didn't even matter in the end. So it's like, what was the point? Like, you gave people this false sense of hope that Rey Mysterio was going to be a big star, and then he just jobbed out to Nash at Uncensored and then went back to the mid-card. Gaming 2D Max with a $5 super chat donation says, Mustafa Ali could easily be a United States title holder from this. I hope they don't give him the Neville treatment. Well, they might. I mean, Neville was on the main roster and then went to 205 Live, if you want to consider that not the main roster. I guess technically it is, although it's worse now because at least when Neville was on 205 Live, the 205 Live segments were airing on Raw, and now they're not. So it's definitely a downgrade at this point to be part of 205 Live when you're not getting that network TV time. So that was SmackDown Live. I thought it was a good show. Not a great show. I think it fell a little bit short of being great. I'm still skeptical about the future direction of the show. Thank you, Roman Reigns, with a $2 super chat. Thank you for that. Thank you, Roman Reigns. He says, do not forget my super chat question. I will not. So SmackDown letter grade, I give it a B-. I think it was a good show, but not anything that was a home run as far as I'm concerned. So Mike B with a $5 super chat donation. He says, Merry Christmas to you, your family, the cats, and the NoDQ galaxy. Well, thank you very much for that, Mike B. Before I get to the rest of the comments and questions here, real quick, I'm coming back tomorrow, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. I'm going to be doing a special, NoDQ live to recap the Raw and SmackDown taped shows. So it will contain spoilers, but I will be giving my thoughts on what happened on those shows. I'm taking next week off from NoDQ Live. I may do a show sometime before the end of the year, but I'm taking next week off. So tomorrow I'll be talking about Raw and SmackDown for next week. There will be spoilers, but check it out, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. All right, so let me try to catch up here with these super chats. First of all, I just wanted to say regarding John Cena at the 2008 Royal Rumble, I liked it. I thought it was a nice surprise. Nobody saw it coming. Nobody thought Cena would be back that quickly. So it was a nice surprise. And even though it was John Cena and people were sick of him, it was a cool moment. It was definitely neat to see John Cena come out there as a big surprise. And I liked it. I liked that Rumble. I mean, to me, that was one of the last really strong Royal Rumble matches. So that's my take on it. Thank you for the super chat again. All right, so here we go. All right, Caitlin just sent me a $2 super chat donation, and she says, marry, fuck, kill Zelina Vega, AJ Lee, and Nikki Bella. All right, well, I'm going to say kill Zelina Vega. She's hot, but not my favorite of the three. Probably fuck Nikki Bella because she's hot. Marry AJ Lee because she's just hot and an amazing person. I'm sure Nikki is too, but AJ Lee was always my favorite during that era and one of my favorite personalities. If you read her book, I mean, she's really awesome. So I'll go with marry AJ Lee, fuck Nikki, and kill Zelina. Thank you for the question, Caitlin. $2 super chat donation from Ken Terminated by Google. You sound better. Did you kill your cold like a Goomba? I did. I mean, I still have a little bit of a cough, but overall I feel much better. So thank you for the comment, Ken. I do appreciate it. Gaming 2D Max with a $5 super chat donation says, SmackDown will always be better for me until Raw has a world title. Well, there you go. And you would think that this is the new era. WWE would, in fact, do something about it and change things up by saying, hey, you know what? Brock's going to start defending the title on Raw. Screw this part-time crap. We're going to listen to the fans and give them a full-time champion. That would be nice, but I don't sense that's going to happen. So there you go. All right, let's see here. Let me catch up. All right, I think I'm caught up now. Yeah, so interesting comments here in the chat room. All right, so on that note, I'll go ahead and wrap up this edition of NoDQ Live. I think I caught up with everybody. I appreciate, as usual, you guys watching and supporting. Reminder, tomorrow afternoon, morning for West Coast people, but for those of you on the East Coast, it'll likely be during your lunch break. NoDQ Live at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific time. I will be discussing the Raw and SmackDown spoilers, and then I might come back for one more. Cindy is going to call in on Skype. She was there in attendance for that Raw taping, so she'll give us her thoughts on the show. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned to NoDQ.com for the very latest. Hold on a second. Thank you, Roman Reigns, with the $2 super chat. He says, I am changing my YouTube name. It seems too long. Hey, I like it. It's a nice tribute to Roman Reigns, so, it's classy. I think it's a cool thing. TK says, oh, Aaron, lunch break, dance time. There you go. Well, you're not going to see any dancing from me, but spoiler alert, maybe for the NXT TakeOver review or the Royal Rumble review, maybe you guys will get a dance break on video. Not going to be from me, though, but maybe you guys will get one. So if you guys are polite and you ask nicely, maybe you'll get one. So on that note, I will sign off here for this edition of NoDQ Live. I will see you guys tomorrow. Please share this video, spread the word, and tell a friend about tomorrow. Noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. NoDQ Live recapping next week's Raw and Smackdown in advance. And that's all I got. I will see you all next time.